Hello and good evening and welcome to The Truth Behind the Truth. Yes, indeed. I'm getting already tongue-tied already about myself. We want to welcome everybody tonight to our wonderful, wonderful show, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us tonight. All of our social media base. Let me just kind of point you out real quick. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Where else we got? TikTok and all the rest of them. Yes, indeed. And to our UK family, all of our international family. This show is really growing, guys. We look at the statistics every week. And if you hadn't joined this yet, you need to join. Please. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. Definitely go to our webpage, www.thetruthbehindthetruthproductions.com. You'll find out all about our shows. Share it with your friends. Therefore, you get to the links and keep up with us. All right. Keep up with Harold, keep up with Parnell, keep up with Donald. I guess I'm going to hide.
Oh, no, don't hide now.
Look, we got some exclusives going on.
Don't hide.
We got Where in the Hell's Parnell? Going to be premiering from that, you know. Yes. We got DTWW Reactions. Yes. We got Health and Wellness. You know, and you got, I guess, I'm an inspirational guy. You know, I'm the cousin preacher. So, hey, whatever it needs, whatever it needs to be, needs to be. All right. Parnell, how you doing tonight, fella?
I'm doing great. It's good to see everybody, and I'm so glad that the weather here in LA has cooled down. Thank you for that rain last night. Thank you, rain.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, y'all been having a heat wave, haven't you, out there?
I thought we had the Tower Inferno going on.
We also had that too. The Tower Inferno.
Yeah, we did. Exactly. That is so true.
Right up north of California.
Well, that's like true. Harold, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. It's storming out here in North Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, that's nice. You know, we had storm the other day. Well, not storm, deep rain in the city the other night. So, you know, storm in LA is like maybe in January. We hope to get a good one or whatever. But that's good. Y'all get that rain. You know, we unfortunately don't have it right now. Yeah. You know, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, hey, we're doing what we do. We're making it done, and we're getting it all done. Right. We're definitely getting it all done. But we are really excited tonight, guys. I mean, tonight's going to be all about the women. Okay, the fellas will be in the background, kind of listening, kind of throw something out there, but it's going to be all about the women tonight. Ladies, get your husband, boyfriends, or whoever you significantly tied to. Get them right next to you in front of this, because you're going to learn something about your bodies, about your personhood, about your authenticity, and your sensuality. Exactly, and your sensuality tonight. We have Dr. Elsbeth Meuth and a panel of beautiful women that will be having this cross discussion about women and their femininity and all of the wonderful things. So we're really excited to have this. This is probably our biggest show ever. Oh, you know, I mean, our biggest show ever, and especially in the context of what we're doing. This is such a beautiful night. So I'm excited. A lot of estrogen gonna be flowing around tonight.
This is such an important topic. I had done a video a while ago on TikTok, and I was talking about erectile dysfunction. But the comments that I was seeing a lot under that post were women asking, okay, what can we do to increase our sensuality and sexuality? So this is a really important conversation that we're having tonight. So it's
good deal. So hopefully a lot of that paid attention to our post and everything else, letting everybody know about it. And if it's your first time joining us, welcome, definitely welcome. Let us know you're here. Put your comments in and share us. You can take a moment, whatever you are right now, share it to your friends and let them know that you are a part of this wonderful conversation that's going on tonight. Well, let's dig into some news buzz, fellas. Let's see what's going on for our little short time before we get these beautiful ladies on here. So what you gonna talk about tonight?
Well, let's talk about the big news story right now. We just had a world-renowned death transition. Mm-hmm. I don't like the word death. That sounds
right. So that's why I use transition.
Transition. Queen Elizabeth II, and there's a big to do about that. How do y'all have y'all been watching the news and watching the pomp and circumstance all across the media about that?
Yeah, well, we know Harold ain't. It's like, I don't have a TV. No, I ain't.
All you need, he died. Okay.
They said a queen died. I thought they were talking about Queen Latifah.
You know what? I am not going to even. I'm just.
I can't. All right, we ain't gonna put that T on that one.
It's funny the reaction that has been happening. Because the memes on Instagram and TikTok talking about that the Queen died. Who? The Queen Latifah? Janet? Beyonce? Well, who are they talking about? There she is. And I know
you should have been on Twitter.
It's right. It's so interesting that for a country that fought for their independence from the UK, how we still have so much reverence for the monarchy there. And I mean, she reigned for 70 years. So that's the queen most of us have. Well, all of us have known, us, our parents, sometimes our grandparents. That's the only queen we've ever known. Right. So there's some of that familiarity. When I first heard the news, like, oh no, Queen Elizabeth died. Oh man. But then you started seeing the memes and the posts about, well, let's talk about the monarchy and colonization and what that has done to nations of people of color. And you can't. It's so hard to separate that between this image of this queen and then the reality of what happened under her reign, the reign before her, and like things that she possibly could have. But then also there's the whole thing where the queen is really more symbolic than actually a person in power. It's actually Parliament that really makes the political decision. The queen is just kind of there for ceremony. So looking at it that way, it's like I can give her a little slack. There's not much she could do other than say, I don't like it. And Parliament go like, well, that's too damn bad.
Right.
She's head of the church too of England as well.
The Catholic Church.
Protestant. Isn't that the Protestant?
No, Catholic Church.
Catholic.
I thought it was Protestant.
No, Catholic Church.
Okay, well I might got that wrong. But one thing I would say this though, when she died, I wasn't as surprised as when Princess Diana passed. It didn't have that same effect on me because we've seen this woman for several years. She have lived a long life. God bless her. But there's still some. I'm like, my eyes kind of do the side eye, like okay, then it was she did what she had to do as queen, but there's still some, girl, you did some stuff that I didn't agree with, but at the end of the day, God bless you. I hope you transition with peace because there were some other people underneath your situation that didn't transition with peace, but I hope you did. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I mean, you make a valid point about a lot of different aspects about that. I think that thing that we have to recognize, you brought up, and it's a whole story behind it. We'll talk about it tomorrow, next week on our show next week with all of tomorrow. I know, right? That's coming. but just to touch on your point, Pernell, about the way that is always presented. I'll say this, and then we will pick this in more detail next week on News Buzz with the fellas next week. However, America is still owned by the UK. Okay, and I'll get into that a little bit more. Most people historically don't understand that. They think that we're free. We have to bow to the discretions of whatever happens in the UK on a regular basis. That's why you find out weddings, deaths, symbolic changes, whatever it is, we have to have it publicized in the U.S. Okay, that's part of the treaty, but we'll get into that next week because we don't have enough time to talk about it tonight. But I'll share that so you guys tune in and learn about that. All right, next week. Let's go on. in that subject.
And that subject.
But, hey, God bless the queen. I mean, okay, hey, she transitioned, everybody has their different opinions about her. I get it, and understand that, and then we'll dig into it a little bit more next week. All right, go ahead.
What are we going to do about this water crisis that's going on? There's a water crisis, and we talked about this too in Mississippi, and now there's one in Baltimore. What's going on? Do y'all think there's something wrong with the infrastructure, or there's some situations that, because I'm hearing about, certain communities that are having bad situations within the infrastructure, water situation. Is there, is it infrastructure? Is it race?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's something that, has been known for years, and people kind of like, well, I know there's a problem, but nobody has really, it's sort of like the environment. We have everything that we need to fix these problems, except for the political will to actually do something about them.
Right. Good point.
Because, we've got the progressives who are like, well, we need to take care of this. We need to make sure this is happening. We need to make sure that our infrastructure is taken care of. We need to upgrade our trains, our rail system. We need to upgrade, with solar energy. We need to upgrade a lot of our water and sewage pipes and stuff that have been there for 50, 60 years and are breaking all the time. But nobody wants to do it. Yet we keep increasing our military budget. Go figure.
Right. Well, they want to have enough guns to keep shooting people. So, it's more important to make sure we're able to do that versus to, getting all these other crises taken care. I would be careful to say and begin, because we're an open platform on our show, so I can't be really one-sided on that. But I will kind of like the discussion that Roland Martin was having on his show about the water crisis and whatever. And I don't want to. We just have to be careful not to marginalize every event that happens a lot of times, because there's an overall responsibility that everybody should be taking that I think personally that necessarily they don't do.
Yeah.
So, and then we're so careful because it may focus or hit a certain area of town. Doesn't mean like they went to the water system and said, we're just going to put trash in this area to hit this part of town. It's all a part of the same water system. You know what I mean? To your point. Mm-hmm. So we have to be careful as to how we present things and making it look like it's a black versus white issue when it comes down to things like
it's an economic issue.
I think it's an economic issue.
Economical.
Right. And we talked about before. I think we have 1 minute to wrap this up. We talked about before, like the people that voted for Trump. Okay. Those were poor white people that voted for Trump. Okay. He made them feel good about being poor. Okay, at the end of the day, he made them feel about good and give them poor. So at that point, when you felt good about who you were, that means you gave you the right to go out and cuss people out, do whatever they did, attack the Capitol, just be ignorant, and all that stuff, guns and everything else got to be a point. Yeah. So he made them feel good. Yeah. That's why you had the few people that voted for him, but the ones that didn't, he didn't make for, didn't vote for him. But anyway, I know we got to get ready for a break.
That before we go, but that's the same tactic that has been used forever. That you can, as long as you make the poorest white person still feel that they're better than the best black person, they will still vote in favor of whiteness as opposed to voting for, and they keep voting against their own best self-interest.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, he didn't give a damn about them in the first place. All he did was care about the business. But that's not that again. We'll pick that up next week as well. All right.
Go ahead. Go finish.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll be right back with Dr. Elsbeth Meuth and a wonderful panel of women, and they're going to dig in and get you going. All right. We'll see you right back in a minute.
Oh, yes.
All right, and welcome back, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth. I wanted to make sure that we did put an advisory label up on the beginning of the show. So if it's a little sensitive conversation that's going on, we want to make sure that you have the appropriate adult people that are in the room having the conversation tonight or listening to the conversation tonight, because they make it a little graphic for you, okay? But those that are, maybe 17 and older or 18 and older, let them be in
grown folks conversations. Grown folks.
That's right. Grown folks.
Grown folks conversations. I love it. But without further ado, we want to bring to the show tonight our welcome and our guest back. She's been with us before. What a wonderful husband. We're going to bring him back tonight.
Yes. Our lead panelist for this evening is Dr. Elsbeth Meuth, co-founder of TantraNova Institute in Chicago, with her brilliant husband, Freddy Zental Weaver, featured in Showtime documentary series Sexual Healing, also NBC show Starting Over, a best-selling author, and White House nominee.
Wow. Yeah, Dr. Elsbeth. Yes. Welcome back. Let me start out by saying I love the glasses.
Yeah. I love it. I think we're almost there with each other, Doctor. I think we're getting there.
You have yourself on mute, sweetheart. You have yourself on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on. And now I know Freddy is really missing being here tonight. He loves you guys.
Oh, we love him.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to do another show with him.
Yeah, we did a couple of shows now.
Yes.
Together, and then one with him, and now with me, and with the ladies in the estrogen. And given that your conversation was a little heavier to begin with, that's the lightness, the pleasure, the joy, the estrogen, the flowing. And really, what is this all about? This, feminine essence, as I call it. And I don't know if you got my email, but I put a word in, which is Shakti power. So Shakti is the word in Sanskrit for the feminine energy, the life force energy, the sensual energy, just aliveness in the biggest sense. So anyway, that Shakti power, of course, is, if we look at the, as women, I always look at myself and actually at every human being, that we have these three centers or three anchors. One is the physical, sexual. The second one is the heart and the love and the emotions. And the third one is the mental and the consciousness or the spiritual. So we want to be balanced in all three. And often we may be, great in our mind, a lot in our head, but not connected with the heart.
Doctor, let's add, you know what? That is so wonderful. We're gonna add some people to this so we can add some more information to them. Harold, start with you now.
So also joining our panel is Doris Cochran. She has been seen on episodes of Jerry Springer and Divorce Court, and recently on MTV Catfish. So Doris Cochran is joining us, along with Nancy Leon Berger, who is the co-founder of a music school and an event planner. She made the Guinness Book World Record for one of the bands in which her son Wolfgang is the youngest member.
Wow.
Here's Doris.
Wow.
Hey, Doris.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Yolanda.
Your youngest son? What?
All right, we're popping up a little bit out of order here, but we're going to do it. We're also going to welcome Nikki and Tina Vasquez. Nikki is a minister and relationship counselor for couples in the LGBT community. She is going to be joined by her wife of over 25 years. Tina, there they are. Hey, y'all. Hola.
Yes.
They are owners of the New York Bodega. Yes, sisters. And of course, we have our sister Yolanda McMillan, who is a relationship coach and a graduate from TantraNova under Dr. Elsbeth. She's founder of Nymphaeum, where she guides women towards authenticity. So you're right in sync with our show, and shows them how to rise above murky waters and experience passionate living. I want to welcome all of our sisters to the show.
And Nancy as well, co-founder and also Guinness World Record recipient.
Yeah,
welcome, honey. Thank you. So, Mr. Doctor, you have the floor. Take it. Give us all that you can give us tonight. It's all yours.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's rock the boat here, ladies.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I would just like to pose the question and what comes to your mind when you think about feminine sexual energy. Who wants to go?
I think how you attract someone to you, what you emit, and people notice it.
Beautiful.
Oh, God, Nancy, you don't have to do anything. Come on. You don't even have to say shit. You're gorgeous, man. You're like a sex kitten. My goodness. But for sure, yeah.
Doris, what do you think about it? Feminine sexual energy.
Oh my goodness. How about I go last? Because
okay,
I've had an issue there for a long time.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. Yolanda.
Yeah, well, when I think of it as just feeling confident and feeling connected to yourself, being genuine and being and just authentic, just letting just being real with who you are as a woman.
Great. Were you always like that?
No. A lot of my past pains have really kind of limited that, and I was afraid to just really be me. I was just trying to live how I felt other people wanted me to live, and that became smothering. And I didn't really have an authentic connection with myself. But once I let that go, and once I learned to heal myself through some of the practices that I learned through TantraNova, and I incorporated my business, oh my goodness, sky's the limit. I just opened up. I didn't realize that there was just such such power within me that I didn't know that I had. And now that I have it, I embrace it, I live it, I walk it, I talk it. It's everything that I am.
Beautiful. That's really great what you said, because it always has been there. You just didn't see it and feel it and were not connected to it.
Yeah.
So it's the uncovering of ourselves as women, as this flowing. Doris, what did you call it, earlier, or at least in what Nancy said, was like this magnetism. When we are connected, when we are in flow, there's this magnetism. So let's hear from Nina and Tina and Nikki. Sorry.
Well, coming from a couple that has been together we have been together for 32 years. Initially, we were two females that came from broken childhoods, parents together, but not showing affection and things like that. So I think that our initial attraction was just our personal brokenness that kind of pulled us together to build something that we had never seen before, and a love that we had never personally witnessed. So it surrounded the two of us by being able to create a love that we had not seen, nor ears have heard prior to getting together. So we didn't have the relationship that a lot of people have by grasping and pulling in so many different individuals while searching for that person that their pheromones would actually attract. It was just, we knew that we loved one another, and we knew that there was a growth that needed to take place, and we were willing to grow together. So 32 years of growth and children raising, and she's my best friend. And
yeah, you're right.
So I think for us, it just, we had to create our own reality within our relationship, because we did not have another relationship that we could mimic. And I think that a lot of people, even nowadays, they say, you guys been together for 32 years. What is your secret? Well, we can't compare our relationship with someone else's relationship or what they're doing to increase. We just know that for us, there was a internal growth from the root all the way up to the tree. So that's kind of.
Thank you. It sounds miraculous.
Yes, it does, right?
Thank you so much for sharing this. And I just really vibrate with feeling the two of you together. Nikki, is there anything you would like to say?
I agree with her. We did come from two broken, but for me, it was more so a connection. I agree 100%. My connection with Nikki was always magnetic. It just stuck no matter what happened throughout the years that we've known each other, and we never left the reality of we were always friends first, and it just completely grew. I mean, people look at us and they could never see that we're actually sometimes a couple because we always do things together, and they're like, you guys don't get sick of each other. And it's like, she's my best friend. I don't see myself without her. I do things without her, she does things without me, but we always tend to get back together. So I'm definitely connected.
What a beautiful radiance you two are. Thank you so much. And now, Doris, it's your turn. What is sexual feminine energy for you?
I'm just really enjoying their story, right? Like I feel such peace, like with their story. I feel like they're gonna make it, right? Because like they're so self-aware, and a lot of people aren't self-aware of their self or even their relationships, for that matter. So they're so self-aware, and like I feel like that's like the most important part. They are so self-aware.
Is this what you want?
Absolutely.
Oh.
And I have not met the person like them. They've met their soulmate. I've never met that. I have never met someone that's so self-aware, that's been able to, be at peace, and, be able to. What I wanted to reflect on was when you asked, was it Yolanda?
Yes.
You asked Yolanda, have you always been like that? Dr. Elizabeth, you said, have you always been like that, right? Have you always been that same kind of person with sexuality as she was, right? What, as a kid or as a teenager or as an adult? And it's so weird because I know for myself, I have like kind of always been like that. I know I've always kind of been myself. And, people think I'm immature, even though I'm very mature in life. I'm very immature in everything else.
Doris, do you mean you are childlike?
Yes.
And open and playful?
Yes. So people at my age, I'm in my 40s. Okay. So when I meet 40-year-old men, they're just like, what the fuck? Like, they're just like, you're too immature. But I have 2 children. I have raised them. You know what I mean? I haven't had a man in 10 years. Well, not sexually, but like a committed man. I have not had a committed man in 10 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So we'll say, if you want to change this, you can change it. Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to change myself.
No.
I don't want to change.
It's actually, no, it's just the opposite. It's tapping into ourselves, because everything, all the potential is already here. It's already here. It's just a question of uncovering and discovering. This is why I speak about these 3 anchors, because most of us are compartmentalized. We are either in our head, or we are all emotion, we lose our heart and all of this, or we are oversexed, or we are suppressed, or whatever it may be. So
I'm probably suppressed.
Okay. Very generous in your sharing about yourself.
Yes.
So it is
I'm very open.
to be in balance, so that my sex, by the way, I brought my yoni.
Oh God, I know you have sex all the time. I can see it.
No,
sex so much. Oh my Lord.
No,
I can see it all over you.
Misconception that it has to be all sex. It's
good Lord. I can see
it with that life force energy that emanates
is that the vagina?
Our sexual center.
Yes,
so now, Doris, here's a little lesson for you. And for everyone who is listening.
Vagina? Is that the diagram of vagina?
This is a
I love the vagina.
Yeah, but the word I'm going to teach you is much more endearing. So in Sanskrit, the sexual center of a woman is called yoni, Y-O-N-I, sorry, yoni. And it means, in English, it means sacred space. Much more endearing than, the medical vagina or all kinds of...
That looks like a fucking mushroom, man. Good. When you zoom in that shit, that vagina don't look like that in real life, man. That junk look like a mushroom.
Okay, so now let's tone it down a little bit.
Sorry.
So here, what I want to bring to all of you...
It really does look like a mushroom, though.
Including the guys. Now tune a little bit more.
Dr. Elsbeth, give me a minute right quick. Y'all, let's calm down. Let's get the information because everybody needs to get the information, okay? All right.
Come on, I do reality TV.
I know, but let's get the information, okay?
I do a lot of reality TV. I'm very sorry.
I know. Let's get the information because we need to hear this, okay? All right. Go ahead, doctor. Go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much, baby. So, the sacred space, and everyone here as a woman listening or speaking, is that imagine if you had been introduced to your sexual center as a sacred space when you were 13 or 14 years old. Probably your sexual trajectory may have gone quite different. I know about myself. There probably would not have been so much suffering, something like, don't go there until you're married. And then what's going to happen?
Yes.
Am I there for the men or he awakens the energy? No, the energy has been with me all along because sexual energy and life force energy are the same. It's what brought us here, So to tune with that energy, that is what we want to cultivate more so that I'm connected in my sexual center or my sacred space, in my feminine energy, that I am connected with my heart center, my love center, and that I'm connected with consciousness or spirituality for some people, however you want to call it.
Protect the vagina.
What?
Protect the vagina.
No, the thing is that we want to connect our spiritual center with our sexual center.
What does that mean?
That is, that's a good question to ask, actually.
Yes.
Okay, just slow it down a little bit, Doris, and let me just talk. Just breathe.
Just ask one question.
So
I'm going to interrupt you just for one moment. I apologize. We got to get ready for a break real quick, and then we can regain from there and pick right up where you left off. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this break, and we'll continue with Dr. Elsbeth and this beautiful panel. Wonderful discussion going on tonight. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. There has begun to be a lively discussion tonight. All right. But anyway, we're all good, and we're here to learn. And Dr. Elsbeth, we thank you so much for your deep wisdom. So if you haven't grabbed where she is right now, you have to take a minute and pause and listen and absorb, okay? Because it's a very deep, sensual, spiritual moment right here that you're having to find yourself. And it's very important to find your synergy in order to be able to move forward in the discussion that we're having tonight. But Dr. Elsbeth, go ahead.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Dylan. So it is in that coherence with ourselves, within ourselves, of the sexual, the emotional, and the spiritual, that we actually reconnect with our wholeness. And why don't we just do a very brief practice so that you can experience what I'm talking about? So if you just want to close your eyes for a moment, everybody who is listening, the guys too, because this is just applicable as well to the guys as to the women. Close your eyes and then take a deep breath in through the nose all the way down into the belly, extending the belly like a big balloon. And on the exhalation, following the breath back up and out through the nostrils. Again, a deep breath all the way down into the belly, all the way down into your sexual center, tipping the breath into the sexual center, and then breathe that out all the way up with the breath and out of your nose. Again, a deep breath in. Now you tip into the sexual center with the breath. Then you breathe it up into your heart center and breathe it up into your third eye, this spiritual center. And then let it flow out. Again, a deep breath in all the way down into your sexual center. Breathe it up into your heart center. Breathe it up into your third eye. And then just let it trickle out like a shower running over you. One more time, deep breath in all the way down into your sexual center. Breathe it up into your heart center, all the way up into your third eye center. And on the exhalation, let it trickle down through you, all around you. And then continue breathing in your own rhythm and feel the flow moving through you. You don't have to do anything. Now the energy is flowing within you because the breath goes hand in hand with energy. Energy can only flow when we breathe. When we don't breathe, we die. All right, and then just come back, open your eyes. Who would like to share how you feel right now?
My yoni is awake.
Ooh. And when your yoni is awake, how does she feel?
She feels curious. She feels she's tingly. She feels like she wants to be touched.
Ooh. Wow, that was easy to awaken her, huh?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Yolanda. Who else?
Feel calm and peaceful, actually.
Beautiful. Nancy, do you feel in flow?
Yes.
Oh, great. This is what the breath does. When we bring awareness to the breath, we actually automatically drop into the flow. As I said in the meditation, the breath and life force energy go hand in hand. When we don't breathe, we die. So if they go together in dying, the breath and the energy must go together when we are alive. And we put this to use here. So when I breathe more deeply and use the focus of the mind, I can move the energy through me. We do not generate energy. Life force energy is given to us at the time of conception and leaves us when we leave this planet. While we don't generate life force energy, we can learn how to move it, to affect it through the breath. And we can do this in a subtle state, just as we did right now, Just do a breathing and then visualizing, moving this flow. And we can also bring this to our aroused energy. Then we can bring up that wonderful orgasmic energy into the heart so that the heart can open into our third eye. And then it becomes a holistic, a whole body, a whole being experience through the breath. So this is just a little taste today. Any word from Tina and Nikki? How did you feel at the end of the practice?
Definitely relaxed.
Yeah.
Gotta excuse me. I'm getting a heat flash. I don't know if that's part of the relaxation.
Yeah, actually, that's great that you bring this up because the circulation gets increased. And when circulation gets increased, we feel warmer.
Yeah, definitely hot.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Very relaxed and almost light. As if I was floating, like just very light.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
So here's a question for the men, I guess, since we're probably get us a little bit engaged in it.
Yeah.
So in this directional practice, how can men, because as Freddie and you guys have focusedly put point men in two scenarios, fucking fight, okay? But how can we move from that mindset of that, how men perceive and really embrace what you're doing, and have that emotional moment, and I think that one of the things that men miss is that emotional moment, and allowing us to fully engage our fullness of our bodies in that. What would you suggest to the men that are, or to the women that can suggest to their husbands?
Yes, beautiful question. So here's the thing, that we are in many ways the feminine masculine energy, or the yin and the yang energy. They are quite different. They are designed biologically that way. It doesn't matter if it shows up in a woman's body or a man's body. What I'm saying is not just gender based, because there are many people that may not feel the way I'm describing it now. So in same-sex couples or everything else, from bisexual, same-sexual, transgender, there's always a yin and yang polarity. If that polarity is not there, there is no magnetism. If we are both in the yang, we are like this, or like that. Yeah. When we are both in the feminine or the yin, so if you could listen not from a gender point of view, but the polarity, is that feminine energy is circular all over the place, playful, like this. So if we are both in the feminine or yin energy, that is what shows up. However, when the yang energy and the yin energy come together, they complement each other. Also in sexual terms, the yang energy or masculine energy, or for the one who is more in their masculine, because that also could be a woman, the energy is directional, is forward, it's protruding, it's linear. Yeah, testosterone energy is like that.
Okay.
Feminine sexual energy or yin energy is like this. It's slow, it's estrogen based, we call it the slow hormone. So this is why it often goes like this, Male sexual energy gets easily aroused and then drops quickly.
Right.
Unlike, familiar with that? Yes. You were shaking your head, Harold. So anyway, feminine energy or yin energy rises slowly, hangs out. We don't know if it's coming or going.
Right.
Yeah. However, when it's
Right.
reawakened,
Right.
it can come up to a plateau.
Right.
And then stay on the plateau for a long time.
Right. Yeah.
Multiple orgasms.
Yes.
Orgasmic waves. you know. So I remember when I came to this country in my late 20s and I started dating again, this is where I found myself self quite a bit in the beginning. Went like this. He came and went, and I was hanging out then.
Yeah, yeah.
And after a while, you know, that gets a little bit boring. That gets, if I said no, okay, Doris.
We just want him to bang it out. Fucking bang it the fuck out, dude.
Could you just mute yourself for a moment?
Oh, because I'm being too real here.
Okay. So otherwise I cannot talk, you know? So, so anyway, what is there for the man to learn is that he starts connecting his sexual center with his heart center. The breathing practice we did a little earlier is great for men because you can move up your testosterone energy from your sexual center into your heart center. When you become connected between your sex and your heart, you become more integrated. Back to the question about the emotional, Dylan, then you fuel your feelings with your wonderful testosterone energy instead of spilling the testosterone energy and then it's gone. You know?
Wow.
So for your own sake, first and foremost, because when a man becomes integrated between his sex and his heart, he is grounded here in his sex and open in his heart. Now, for me, when I feel that he is connected with his heart, my heart opens. Because most women, when they want to connect, they start feeling it in their heart center. Most men, again, please listen to this like the one who is more in their masculine. It could be in a lesbian relationship. One is in her masculine, the other one is in her feminine. You know, the one, because when we work with lesbian couples, one of them usually says, you know what you just described for men, that is how I feel. I start feeling my sexual desire coming on in my sexual center. So for the men to connect here, so that because if you don't connect, it's like he's looking for, when he wants to connect, coming from the sexual place. She is looking from the heart place. We both want to connect, but we are just like two ships passing in the night. So in the tantric practice, in the work we do, and that also Yolanda is certified in, is that the man learns how to channel his energy up into his heart. Then he becomes more available like this. And when he's more available, my heart opens, I start trusting, and I have time to awaken. And then we meet on the plateau. And then we ride the wave together. Now, the wave may be on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the ejaculatory moment or the climactic moment, may be a 9, it may be an 8, it may be a 5, it may be a 3, one may be a little higher, one a little lower. What's important is that we start flowing together.
Wow. I'm going to hold you right there at that particular point. We got to get ready for a break. Hang on, hold your question. I know it's going to be good. And I want to open up real quick, guys, when we come back from break. Quick questions for Dr. Elsbeth. So, because I know we're running out of time, and I want to make sure that we get some questions in because there's so much here. You know, my gosh, it's so deep. But anyway, we'll be right back with a quick break. So get your questions ready, okay? Make them brief, not long, okay? And we'll be right back after this. All right, and we're back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the truth behind the truth. It's been such a powerful night with Dr. Elsbeth. Thank you so much for being here. One of the things we want to remind everybody about next week's show, the fellas will talk about some of this next week on our show. We want to remind you to come in for the news buzz with the fellas next week at the same time with that. And go to our webpage to find out Showtimes and all of our guests at the Truth Behind the Truth Productions.com. All right. Tina and Nikki, I think you guys had a question you wanted to throw at Elsbeth.
Well, I just have a brief question. I heard earlier when you were speaking about couples, and I always consider the questions that are the things that people most say about the LGBTQ community, and I know that in our relationship, there's not a more a male or feminine energy at all. We're both females. We both get our nails done, eyes done, things like that. Neither one of us is more dominant. I just wanted for you to elaborate a little bit more about what you were saying as far as relationships and the yin and yang. I guess that for us, we're a little different than the norm, because I do feel that we are both equally yoked in our relationship, and that is what has been our strength for the last 32 years.
Yeah, beautiful, great question. So it has nothing to do with dominance. It has nothing to do with subordination. It is that, I can be just as much in my masculine at times as Freddy, my partner, my beloved, my business partner, can be in his feminine. So it is not so in the feminine, we become receptive, we become open, no matter if it's you or the other one. Yeah. So then, of course, just like for men, also what the questions that came up earlier, how is it for men? It's for a man to feel his emotions. The only, way to do that is to open up, to feel the vulnerability, to allow to show myself. So this is not a woman or a man's thing, or masculine or feminine thing. So I bet, Tina, there are moments when you are more in your yang energy and Nikki is more in her yin energy. It's when you flow in a certain way. It's just like the yin and yang symbol, the black and the white. That doesn't mean that the black is always one person and the white is always the other person. That Nikki can move into her yangness while you open up and receive.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And there's been times where sometimes she's like, you're so aggressive. It's not that. But you're absolutely right. I think you hit it on the nail with that one, and it made a lot of sense, because sometimes she does.
I'm a lady.
She's like a flower, and I'm like,
she's not a flower.
No, but yes, sometimes I, not allow her, but in that moment, it just changes up. Sometimes she could be the one that's like, the aggressive one, or or sometimes it'll go vice versa. So I definitely agree with that. Definitely.
Yes. Beautiful.
So Nan, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know we got to get our questions going down because we're running out of time here. Nancy, did you have a question you want to present to Doctor tonight?
Well, yes. So if you're in the dating world, if you improve yourself in that way, how do you encourage the men that you meet to make that same effort?
Wow. Are you in the dating world?
Wow.
Okay. So, I would distinguish something here. One is to date. I mean, dating, which means that you want to meet someone you can flow with, So it's high intentionality. So intentionality and intention is a masculine or yang energy. You know, because it's like this. Shh. At the same time, you want to be opening your heart. Like that you show yourself authentically, you know, without playing a role or think you have to be a certain way. So it's like being, you know, focused in your mind, in being intentional what you want, and do not settle for anything less while open in your heart.
Yes.
You know, and just be it. There's no projection, just be it, Nancy. You already, you know, you already have it. You know, I can feel it. Just be yourself.
Wow. That is so beautiful. I don't know. We got to bring. Yeah, it is.
That's good. That was good.
That was a good cutting point right there, Dr. Elsbeth. Really, really good.
That was really one.
Yolanda, if you want to give us maybe a quick 30-second how people can get in touch with you, if you're local, or your connection to Dr. Elsbeth, and then we'll wrap it up with Dr. Elsbeth getting the connection where she is for everybody to do it. Be in touch.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So I just shifted my business name from the Film Life to Pleasure Principle. Okay. Just based off the experiences and things that I've learned in my practice. So the way to get in touch with me is at pleasureprinciple.com. Pleasure with a Z, PLEAZURE, principle.com.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. I know we didn't get a chance to, because what a panel, it's so hard to have everybody's voice at a point, but we're going to make an adjustment to have redo the show again so we can expound a little bit more, you know, for everybody, because it's so deep, and it's just, these are nuggets, you know, that you pull and try to make them a part of your life. Nikki and Tina, thank you so much. You guys are your great supporter of the show. Thank you for being here tonight. Hey, you know, we're going to work on that double support on that other end with that food truck. We're definitely going to.
We got you. We got you.
Yes, Dr. Elsbeth, thank you so much for taking the time out tonight to be with us. Again, we're going to set up another time to refocus this.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy, so much. Thank you.
Focus this, you know, and make it happen again so we can have you back in again and get a little bit deeper into it. Because I know there's so much you want to share, and you got so much deep in you.
Yes, Doctor.
All right, Nancy, thank you for taking the time out to be with us tonight. And I hope that you did grab a little bit tonight from what we were talking about to help you move forward in your dating life. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind Truth. And remember, next week it is a News Buzz with the fellas. And then the week after that, we have the cast of God Guys that will be with us in full. And we will all be in the same room. All four fellas, all four bald heads will be in the same room at the end of the month.
Towards the end of the month.
Towards the end of the month. We love it. Thank you again, guys, for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth. We'll see you next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.